Before Cherry Creek existed, this desert held only wind, stone.
In 1872, silver was discovered here, turning forgotten land into sudden possibility.
One small discovery was enough to awaken dreams far larger than the desert itself. Men arrived quickly, and a camp formed almost overnight, stitched together by urgency. Cherry Creek was built with tools, patience, and the belief that luck would last. The hills were opened without hesitation, as silver pulled men deeper into the earth.
Each descent carried hope upward and risk downward, balanced by necessity.
Temporary shelters slowly became homes, as the camp imagined permanence. A street emerged where there had been none, carrying voices, dust, and expectation. Supplies followed hope, arriving before certainty ever could. In the evenings, stories grew larger than the mines themselves. The air filled with dust, unseen danger mixed quietly with opportunity. Cherry Creek grew fast, shaped by belief more than certainty. As daylight faded, the town believed tomorrow would bring more. Nightfall did not stop the work. It only quieted the questions. Within months, Cherry Creek changed shape, expanding beyond a camp into something that felt permanent. The population grew quickly, carried by belief more than certainty. Inside, conversations grew louder than doubt, fueled by success that felt close enough to touch. A hotel stood tall among the tents, a symbol that Cherry Creek believed in its own future. Families arrived not just to work, but to stay, trusting the ground beneath them. Stores multiplied, selling supplies, confidence, and the idea that this boom was different. Goods arrived in bulk, as if preparation alone could secure the town's fate. Every claim staked carried the same quiet promise. This time, it would last. The hills were worked harder, driven by optimism rather than restraint.
Laughter echoed through the streets, reinforcing the illusion of stability.
As night fell, confidence deepened, wrapped in music, light, and shared belief. At its peak, Cherry Creek looked like success, made visible.
The town watched the sun sink, convinced tomorrow would be brighter.
Every light burning after dark stood for faith in permanence.
Cherry Creek believed its first dream had finally come true, unaware how fragile belief could be. Cherry Creek was born from hope, already unaware how often it would have to begin again. As the silver weakened, the sun hung lower, casting longer shadows over fading effort.
The ground no longer answered the labor poured into it. Tools rested longer than they worked, waiting without purpose. Profit slipped away first, quietly, without warning.
Shops stayed open, but fewer reasons remained to enter.
The town's heart slowed as evening settled in.
Leaving didn't feel sudden.
It felt necessary.
Each departure took a piece of Cherry Creek with it.
The streets grew quieter as daylight disappeared.
Plans remazed, but belief did not.
Some lives left behind, only silence.
The hills did not change. They simply waited.
Not everything was taken. Some hopes stayed behind.
The town shrank with the light. Hope did not vanish. It dimmed. The first collapse came not with noise, but with evening.
Cherry Creek awakened once more, its streets and structures whispering of determination and fragile hope that refused to vanish.
Silver veins called them back, each step a measured embrace of promise and cautious optimism for life in the desert. Every sweep revealed not only sand, but the enduring spirit of those who believed the town could rise again. The silent tunnels hinted at life returning, carved by hands that had rehearsed with cautious determination.
Idle machines seemed to awaken, subtle reminders that Cherry Creek's pulse had never fully died, only paused.
Returning settlers carried hope and resilience, wheels turning toward the fragile promise of new beginnings.
Merchants arrived with supplies, breathing quiet courage into streets that were learning to live again.
Every nail hammered stitched confidence back into the town, defying the desert's memory of silence. Life returned slowly, laughter threading carefully through streets that had long echoed emptiness. Voices rose softly, subtle songs of human presence, declaring that the town could breathe again. Records once forgotten guided hands toward the future, carrying lessons of resilience and caution.
Every step reflected patience, every motion a quiet declaration that survival required effort and courage.
Hope returned not in triumph, but in small gestures, careful movements, and steadfast hearts.
Soft lights flickered on, illuminating paths that had been abandoned, each glow a symbol of resilience.
Their hands carried more than ore, they carried the weight of relentless labor, a daily testament to endurance in unforgiving dust.
Each strike of the pickaxe echoed months of struggle, a rhythm that shaped lives as much as it shaped stone.
The desert resisted, yet these hands pressed forward, over ruts, rocks, and the endless weight of expectation. Every nail hammered was a lifeline, every rope tightened a silent pact with survival in the unforgiving tunnels. The air was thick with silver dust, and yet breathing did not pause. The work demanded each lung's quiet defiance.
Water carried away the earth's bounty, but left behind the sweat and determination of those who labored without pause. The town's heartbeat pulsed through dusty streets, every motion a quiet declaration that life must endure. Even the smallest repair became essential, each act a defiance against the desert's constant demands. Even the youngest shared the burden, stepping carefully along roads that tested courage as much as strength.
Rest came in fleeting moments, but each pause was a quiet acknowledgement of endurance etched into every body and bone. Boots bore the story of endless steps, of trails carved not by maps, but by determination and stubborn survival.
Their strength mirrored the men guiding them, a partnership bound by labor and the quiet rhythm of necessity.
Every mechanism demanded attention. A small misstep could mean disaster, and yet the work never ceased.
The desert dust was a constant companion, a silent witness to daily courage and enduring will.
Every step upward was a negotiation with gravity, earth, and exhaustion, yet none faltered under the weight of ambition.
Cherry Creek survived through work, dust, and endurance. A town carved not by fortune, but by unyielding human will.
The wind whispered life, delicate and fleeting, yet undeniable.
Cherry Creek had risen again, fragile yet resilient, guided by hope that refused to leave. The streets, once filled with effort and hope, now lay silent, their dust carrying whispers of dreams that could not endure. Tools that had labored tirelessly now rested in silence, relics of lives that struggled and faltered against the desert. Structures built with sweat and ambition now bowed to time and neglect, revealing the fragility of human persistence. Carts that once carried wealth now carried only memories of toil, slowly sinking into the earth that outlasts all effort. The tunnels that promised fortune now whispered warnings, a testament to the impermanence of ambition in harsh terrain.
The town's promises, once bright, were now faded words on worn wood, standing as silent reminders of broken dreams.
Even the machines, once symbols of progress, had surrendered to neglect, their slow creaks marking time's relentless passage.
Personal treasures, abandoned in haste or despair, bore silent witness to lives uprooted and hope fading into the dust.
The wind carried away memories, yet each gust seemed to murmur the echoes of resilience that had been tested and broken.
Once again, a few hands returned, carrying the belief that this desert town.
Each step forward was a declaration of stubborn belief, a refusal to let failure define the town's future.
Returning families brought not only belongings, but a quiet courage, hoping that perseverance could overcome desert trials.
Every nail hammered was a testament to faith, a fragile bridge between past disappointment and future hope.
Even the youngest carried the town's resilience, moving with wonder and careful optimism through streets that had seen despair.
Worn carts and fragile tracks were restored with patience, proof that stubborn belief demanded hands willing to endure.
Voices rose softly once more, a cautious celebration of life that refused to be silenced by failure.
Every record marked progress, a chronicle of determination, resilience, and the stubborn refusal to surrender. Each step forward carried history, lessons learned, and the unspoken promise that this attempt could endure where others had faltered. The animals mirrored human endurance, moving steadily despite the scars left by past failures in these unforgiving streets.
Every repair carried weight, a delicate balance between ambition and the desert's relentless demands.
The act of cleaning became symbolic, a ritual of hope, transforming ruins into places that might once again feel alive. Boundaries rebuilt, fences mended. Every small act of care stitched life back into the town's fabric. Even in fleeting moments of joy, the persistence of life and hope shone through, fragile yet undeniable.
Every burden carried reaffirmed human will, stubborn belief shaping the town's future one step at a time.
Cherry Creek had attempted life once more, guided by stubborn belief, resilience, and
every strike that had shaped wealth and survival now lay still, a reminder of relentless effort meeting inevitable decline. Where laughter and music once filled the air, silence now reigned, punctuated only by the wind's hollow song. The mechanisms of industry, once humming with purpose, now stood frozen, relics of ambitions unfulfilled. Even water, the lifeblood of the town, seemed to desert it, leaving only dry memories of survival that had once flowed freely. Every resting place told a story of endurance and failure, of lives that had persisted only to bow before the harshness of time.